Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
A Saudi person did such things on Ramadan's coming at Jannat al-Baqi that the Saudi king immediately ordered the removal of the neck. For God's sake, children do not watch. Astaghfirullah. The video went viral all over the world. Peace be upon you, viewers. The coming of the blessed month of Ramadan is coming. It is the month of mercy and blessings. But in such a blessed month, a Saudi person did such an outrageous act that the Saudi king immediately removed that person's neck. That person also did such a deed that Prince Mohammed bin Salman had to come to the Kaaba and remove his neck. To know this, watch our video until the end. If you are new to this channel, then subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so that you can be notified of the upcoming new video. So, friends, this is the incident of Abdul Manan, a resident of Saudi Arabia. He was counted among the rich businessmen of Saudi Arabia. There was a stream of money in his house. The news of his grandfather was in Jannat al-Baqi, and this person used to surely go to his grandfather's grave every few days. And once when he recited Fatiha at the grave and returned, then that night there was very heavy rain, and in the morning a strange and unusual kind of thing was heard, upon hearing which no ear could believe its own hearing. How could this be possible? It was a strange matter or some miracle of God. Some people began to consider it a sign of the Day of Judgment. As soon as they heard this news, a crowd of people gathered. People began to rush towards Jannat al-Baqi. Every eye was eager to see this scene with its own eyes. Everyone wanted to see it with their own eyes and believe, as people were moving towards Jannat al-Baqi. People's heart's condition began to become very strange. The heartbeats were increasing with the steps. The eyes were curious as to how in the end such a thing could be possible, but as soon as people reached near Jannat al-Baqi, a security alert was raised there. No one was allowed to go inside. Many people fabricated the excuse that they wanted to recite Fatiha inside for the sake of their loved ones. Though managing and stopping so many people had become difficult for the guards there. As soon as they allowed a few people to go inside, the insistence of the remaining people also became overwhelming. Stopping them had become the most difficult task for the guards there. People were not ready to listen to anything. They were only eager to see that grave, whose news had spread everywhere. Nevertheless, the staff did not lose heart, and as soon as the guards were forced to step back from in front of the cemetery, the crowd of people entered inside. After seeing that grave, people's eyes remained wide open. Even after seeing it with their own eyes, people could not believe that even in this day and age, such a thing was possible. Seeing all this, many rumors began among the people. Some people said that the person mentioned in the news was a special servant of Allah, on whose grave such a miracle had occurred. Someone started saying that perhaps this person had been a great elder in his time. People's devotion towards that grave began to increase. Then suddenly another noise arose. While dispersing this gathering, Haji Abdul Manan arrived there. That grave was the grave of that person's grandfather, and he was intently watching the gold coming out from inside his grave. There was so much gold that people had become a picture of astonishment. The staff there did not allow anyone to touch the gold. When Abdul Manan was told that he had a right over the gold, he began to cry, saying, "Let him remain in a grave." He said that his grandfather was a very pious person, a worshipper, therefore the gold should be dedicated to his grave. Now people's attention had shifted from that grave to Abdul Manan. Every person present appeared curious to know about his grandfather, but friends, the truth was something else. As soon as the truth came out, Prince Mohammed bin Salman decapitated that person. The thought-provoking thing is that, friends, after all, what exactly did this person do to deserve this punishment? After knowing the truth, perhaps you people will not believe. People's beliefs began to change upon seeing the news of gold. That elder's devotion in the heart began to sell some other emotions. People went there and began to ask for supplications. When this matter reached Saudi King Mohammed bin Salman, he issued an order for the investigation of the case. Several spies had been assigned to spy on Abdul Manan. They very soon lost their breath upon realizing that Ramadan Mubarak was coming. For that reason, one announcement by the Saudi government completely stunned Abdul Manan. An order was issued by the Saudi government stating that this time they would extract the nisab of zakat from his servants, and at the appointed time the government would raid the houses of Saudi Umrah people to see how much property they had. and the zakat on it would have to be given by those people to the government, which the Saudi government itself would distribute to the deserving. Abdul Manan, as rich a person as he was equally small-hearted and miserly. He would buy gold with his money and secure it in the form of gold. He had not paid his zakat until now, and after the announcement of the current government, he was extremely troubled. He believed that since Allah did not give to the poor, why should I give money from my earnings? Therefore, in the darkness of night, he bribed the guards present in Jannat al-Baqi with money and began to fill his grandfather's grave with gold. But when Allah wanted to expose his truth, he revealed its secret through rain. Yet, the people's habit of destructive behavior forced the Saudi government to think that by seeking a desired supplication from such a grave, there was a risk of people's beliefs being ruined. In view of that, when the investigation of this case was conducted, this truth came to light. On that, Prince Mohammed bin Salman ordered that this person be decapitated in the Kaaba in front of everyone, because he was not only refusing to pay zakat, but was also corrupting people's beliefs. Therefore, in front of everyone, his neck was removed as punishment so that no one ever again could commit such a grave crime. In the Holy Quran and the blessed Hadiths, countless virtues and blessings of paying zakat have been mentioned. For example, paying zakat is the cause of the mercy of Allah the Almighty. By paying zakat, wealth increases, deliverance from fear and sorrow is obtained, and protection from losses occurs, and the evil of wealth is removed. Zakat purifies a person from sins, and it is a means of entering paradise and of distancing from hell. It saves one from the anger and displeasure of Allah, glorified and exalted, and from a bad death, and the pleasure of Allah the Almighty is attained. Just as countless virtues and benefits of paying zakat have been mentioned in the Quran and Hadith, similarly, regarding not paying zakat, very severe warnings have been mentioned. For example, in the Holy Quran, Allah the Almighty's command is, translation, "And those people who accumulate gold and silver and do not spend it in the way of Allah, give them the glad tidings of a painful punishment on the day when that wealth will be melted in the fire of hell. Then their foreheads and their sides will be branded with it, and their bellies will be marked. And it will be said, 'This is the treasure that you accumulated for yourselves. Now taste the flavor of that treasure which you used to hoard bit by bit.'" Regarding the warning for not paying zakat from some hadiths tayyibah, Hazrat Zayd bin Aslam says that Hazrat Abu Salih Zukkan informed them that they heard Hazrat Abu Huraira, may Allah be pleased with him, saying this, that the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "No person who possesses gold, silver and wealth and property is one who does not give its due, that is, zakat. But his condition will be that when the day of judgment comes, then for the purpose of punishing that person, wide slabs of gold, silver and wealth and property will be made. Then those slabs will be heated in the fire of hell, that is, very well heated, as iron and other metals become red when well heated in the fire. Then with them, the person who did not pay zakat will have his chest, sides, forehead and back branded. When these slabs begin to cool, they will be heated again in the fire and made hot. And this act will occur on that day whose measure will be equal to 50,000 years, that is, on the day of judgment, until the judgment of the servants is past, he will either be shown the path to paradise or the path to hell. It is narrated from Abu Huraira that the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Whoever Allah the Exalted has given wealth, and then he does not pay its zakat, on the day of judgment his wealth will come to him in the form of large poisonous clumps. May Allah the Exalted grant the esteemed Muslims the ability to pay zakat. Ameen, O Lord of the worlds."